Hey JJ, how you doing?
Hey, Melissa.
How's your day?
Great.
What's been going on?
I've been getting a ton of stuff done. It's really awesome.
Oh, cool. So are we doing happy hour today?
No, because you're my boss now, and that seems kind of weird.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'll catch you later. So, Melissa, I started my career as a computer programmer.
I never knew that, actually. No
So-
wonder you're so good.
Right? So, I wrote the software that our company sold. And as I progressed in my career, I became, the head of engineering and then the CTO and beyond. But the hardest move that I had in my career was going from being one of the programmers
Yeah.
to being one of the managers of the programmers, right? The CTO, because I was part of, the gang, and then all of a sudden I wasn't.
Yeah, that's a super hard thing, and it is actually one of the most challenging things about being promoted in your company. And most people don't even think about that or even realize it, and yet emotionally and just through awareness, it's literally one of the hardest things that happens. I have another client in which it was a similar situation. He was in a department for 20 years, and he was promoted to the department's manager on a Monday, and he was immediately uninvited to a happy hour that happened every single Friday night for that team for literally decades.
That's so hard.
And he actually cried. He was crushed. He just couldn't believe that they would treat him so differently now
Yeah.
because he had a different title behind his name.
Yeah. This idea that, we're chasing a career path.
Yeah.
And we don't really realize that these other kind of things can happen, right?
Yeah.
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 And it's really interesting because, when you've been kind of part of a group like that, of course you're going to feel sad
Yeah.
that, you're not part of it anymore.
Yeah, and it kind of leaves you with, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, am I supposed to act differently? Am
Yeah.
I supposed to have authority now? Do I start like heavy-handing people that I've never in my life had a serious conversation
Yep.
with? Like, how am I supposed to act? And you'll see a lot of different ways of being that people are depending on their own awareness.
Yeah, and so moving into a manager role there when you used to be part of the
Yeah.
peer group is really difficult because, you don't know how to maybe establish authority.
Yeah.
Because you were part of the group, maybe
Yeah.
you feel like you don't actually have any authority. And so moving through that whole emotional process is pretty tough. And
Right.
I've seen people be way too heavy-handed as they
Same.
move into that role.
Same.
I've seen people be way too timid
Yes.
and just want to be part of the group again.
And still keep going to the happy hours
right,
even uninvited.
which doesn't work either.
No.
So somehow you have to navigate that. And I don't know that I have a particular tip on how to navigate that.
Yeah, I think what I would say in that time is that the most important thing is that you stay really aware of your own feelings.
Yes.
And recognizing that everything takes time. Those relationships that you developed took some time for you to develop in the way that they were. And as a leader, really what you're doing is it's no longer about authority. Like 10 or 20 years ago, that's what we talked about with leadership. It was like authority, authority, authority. Now it's influence. You have a great deal of influence with your peer group already, and to just be open and honest with, this is challenging for me because now I have this new set of rules and I have this new role, and yet I still have a certain kind of relationship with you. I'm just going to be honest and tell you that that's kind of hard for me. It must be hard for you too. And just sharing some of your feelings, obviously not everything, and you'll eventually not have those same relationships and the same rapport, but over time it can very easily morph into something that feels a lot more comfortable and you feel a lot more confident.
Yeah, and I've seen that those relationships can, in a lot of ways, become even stronger.
Yes, yes, and they actually help you with your influence in the rest of the organization if you allow that.